Yo, what is up guys? Delboy here, aka Blue Collar Sports TV. Hopefully you guys are doing well. If you're new here, smash that like, hit subscribe, all of that good stuff. So, Fabio Wardley stops Justis Huni in 10 rounds in a fight in which he was outclassed. He was outclassed pretty much from round 1 to round 10, but he found the knockout. On my card I struggled to give Fabio Wardley a round. I wasn't scoring it closely, but round 1, round 2 were kind of competitive. But aside from that, Wardley was not in a round, as far as I'm concerned. He wasn't in a round. Now we have to talk about the stoppage. Great knockdown by Fabio Wardley. The one moment where Justis Huni kind of held his feet with Fabio and exchanged shots. Fabio landed his right hand and Huni got dropped hard. He got dropped hard and he was definitely hurt. But he beat the 10 count. I think the referee, considering the circumstances, it wasn't like Huni got dropped a couple of times in the round where he was all over the place. Yeah, it was a bad knockdown, but it was the first knockdown. Huni did beat the count, and he looked a bit shaky. But considering he was winning the fight, considering he was fresh, I think the referee should have allowed Justis Huni to continue to see whether he could recover. Not trying to take away anything from Fabio Wardley, but I felt the referee was way too quick there and may have ruined something great. Having said that, I'm listening to the announcer now announce the result, and he's saying Justis Huni couldn't beat the count. But for me, watching it in real time, it looked like he did beat the count. I'm not sure on it anyway, but regardless. First couple of rounds, I felt Huni came out in round 1. He showed a good guard, kept his hands nice and high, and he was in and out quite quickly, jabbing to the body, feinting the jab and coming up with the left hook. Not a load of shots landed in round 1, but Huni was the quicker guy with his hands. He was finding the target more effectively throughout most of round 1 than Fabio Wardley. Wardley was looking a little bit loose, a little bit languid, but not in a good way. Kind of flicking out the jab, tried a couple of speculative right hands that missed. It looked like he was trying to time Justis Huni as Huni was coming in with attacks. And Huni was landing all the shots really in round 1. Apart from the end of the round where Fabio Wardley timed Justis Huni with a real short, quick right hand. And it buzzed Justis Huni towards the end of round 1. That's one of those rounds where Fabio Wardley was clearly outlanded, but he landed the best shot and caused damage and hurt Justis Huni. So I would still give it to Justis Huni personally, but maybe you could give that round to Wardley. Round 2 was a little more circumspect. I think because Huni himself got hurt, and I think Fabio Wardley was also surprised by the speed of Justis Huni. Round 2 was kind of almost like a feel-out round, like a delayed feel-out round kind of thing. You could have given it either way, but after round 2, Justis Huni dominated this fight, really. He kind of dominated this fight. He did dominate this fight. And I picked Wardley to win this fight by stoppage. But it didn't go in the way I expected. However, in my prediction video, I said that I felt that Justis Huni's best chance laid if he were to lie on Wardley's chest and smother him. Because I've seen Huni fight basically every single fight of his pro career. And one thing Huni's good at is shortening his punches. He's pretty good up close for a heavyweight. He can change levels with his shots. Work body and head, uppercuts through the middle, chopping rights around the side. He's really good at finding space. Well, he's good at finding space up close to find a home for his shots. And we saw that throughout this fight. Anytime these guys were on the inside, Huni was just outworking Wardley, working the body, coming around the side with looping right hands, occasionally throwing the uppercuts as well. And to get to the inside, Justis Huni showed really quick feet, jabbing his way in. He'd feint downstairs with a jab and then come over the top with an overhand right. And that shot was always catching Fabio because Fabio had his lead hand low. And also another thing that Huni was doing that was really causing Fabio trouble throughout this fight was how Huni was able to punch on his front foot, mainly with the jab, and also like a quick right hand, like a quick right hand. And he would catch Wardley as Wardley was backing out. But when Wardley backs out of an exchange, or when he backs out to try and reset, he backs out with his hands low. And every time Wardley would try to escape, he would get caught with like a jab or a quick right hand from Justis Huni. Round 3 was pretty good though, to be fair. Like, Huni pretty much bossed it, but Wardley came back with a good left hook in round 3. He got some shots off of his own, but not enough to win the round. And after the third round, it was all Justis Huni. Huni was jabbing his way in, beating Wardley to the punch. Huni looked quicker, more athletic. His timing was better. His balance was better. His defense was better. He was basically better in every single aspect of boxing. He was just better. And as the fight wore on, you could tell that the body attack of Justis Huni was really getting to Fabio Wardley. The longer the fight wore on, Wardley was becoming less and less active with his own punches. And when he was punching, he was pushing punches. He wasn't throwing with authority or speed or snap or anything like that. Wardley was looking like he was feeling sorry for himself. He was outboxed, he was outworked. He was getting out-fought in there as well. In the pocket, he was no match for Justis Huni. And he was looking spent. In fact, I think it was the round before the knockout in round 10. Fabio Wardley was caught with a couple of big shots, a couple of big left hooks. And he looked, I don't want to say ready to go because Wardley's a tough guy, but he was close to it. I think then, at that point in time, Huni should have resumed to that jab to the body. Fired that jab to the body a couple of times, then fainted the jab, then come over the top with an overhand right to try and nail Wardley. But that's not what happened, of course. And round 10, again, Wardley not really doing much. Threw a couple of speculative shots, threw himself off balance, tired, fatigued, etc. But for a split moment, for a split second, Justis Huni held his feet. He tried to fire a shot. Fabio Wardley fired his overhand right at the same time. Wardley lands, bang on the chin. It drops Justis Huni hard. And that's all she wrote. Again, in regards to the stoppage, I might have been wrong. But to me, it looked like Huni beat the count. But like I said, the announcer said that Justis Huni didn't beat the count. But on BoxRec, so I've checked this as I've been doing this post-fight review. When this fight result first went on BoxRec, it said TKO. And then it says KO now. So I've got no idea. I'll have to watch it back. But regardless, listen, this is basically Fabio Wardley, right? We know he's technically limited. We know the story behind Fabio Wardley. Late start to boxing, 0 amateur fights, a handful of white-collar fights. He turned pro with 0 experience. He's basically got through on power, decent athleticism, speed, and toughness. Listen, we can pick holes in Fabio Wardley's game all day long. And I think any boxing nerd can do that. But sometimes it's more than just technique. It's more than just who can be a world champion, who can be world level, this, that, and the third. Sometimes we just want to see a bloody good fight. And Wardley, for me, is becoming kind of like a bit of an action star in the heavyweight division. A guy in which, has got some good attributes, but he's so flawed in so many different areas. But he's damn exciting. And when you match this guy with the right fights, he's going to make for entertainment. And, we should be happy for guys like that in boxing. We should. So, listen, man, Wardley, he entertains once again. What can I say? Justis Huni thought he boxed a great fight until he got knocked out, basically. He was winning pretty much every round. I think, if you're kind, really kind, you maybe give Wardley the first 2 rounds. but I think that's being overly generous. Yeah, it's one of those cases where the better boxer, actually lost. Do you know what I mean? But it's not just boxing; it's also a fight. Damage matters, etc. Landing something crazy matters, and that's what happened in this fight. What can I say? As Adam Smith would say, that's why we love the sport. But yeah, crazy shit, man. Crazy shit. What's next for Fabio Wardley? I'll be honest. I want to see a rematch. I enjoyed that. I want to see a rematch. Yeah, Wardley won, but I want to see a rematch. That's what I want to see. I think there's been talks of Michael Hunter maybe next. Don't really want to see it. I'd rather see a rematch personally. But anyway, share your thoughts below. Beanie Guy Delboy. Peace.